Don't do any of this. All right, so this should be the start of the second week of Ariel and Road to Dragon Con. However, this week got off to a bit of a rocky start. So there's no sewing machine. We had to take it in to be repaired because the last project destroyed it. So now there's no sewing machine. So I spent most of today, well, at work, but most of after school, taking the sewing machine to Athens and getting more fabric. And yeah, then we have a party this afternoon. Not a party, because it's still COVID, but a gathering. Not much getting done today. I'm not sure there's going to be much getting done this week. Anyhow, today's the start of a new week. It's Monday, April 12th. So today is Saturday, April 17th, and I have not cosplayed all week, but let me show you some updates. So the most important thing, the sewing machine is back. Yay! So one thing so I got the sewing machine back. The timing was apparently off, so they fixed that. But they cleaned the machine out. I looked in there and they oiled it, so that's good. I've been wanting that done for a while. All right, that's the sewing machine. Yay, it's back. Yeah, I think today, oh yeah, there's another update. Let me show you the other update. This is the other update. I have a new airbrush machine.
Hooray! No.
And we're gonna kind of figure things out because we don't know how to airbrush. And we have some airbrush paints to practice with. I'm not gonna practice on this, but probably on something else maybe. All right, those are all the updates. I figure what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and just make whatever I'm going to make. Like whatever armor I'm gonna make. I have these little thingies. I think I wanna make sure it looks good all together because I haven't done that since making them smaller and reheat forming them. Kinda wanna see them on my arm, not the mannequin. They look pretty good. Okay, so a major thing is the order to do things, and that's what I was struggling with the gauntlets. Is I was doing things in the wrong order, and I had to keep taking it off and redoing it. So I was just thinking I need to go ahead and attach this. I don't need to do that. What I need to do is if I want any sort of like details on here, and then moving into painting and then attaching them to each other. So I'm going to think through if I want like a texture on it, and if I do want a texture, how does that make sense? How does that fit in with the design and everything else? Because it is a lobster tail. I just wanted it to look a little bit more rich and not be so just straightforward lobster tail on your shoulder. So I'm going to think through if I want swirlies, and if I do want swirlies, what are they gonna look like? So I think I am going to add texture to these because the gauntlets have texture on them, like they have the scales. But I was looking at what sort of textures kind of remind you of the sea a little bit. And one is scales, but I don't want to put scales all over these things. It's gonna take forever. My next thought was coral, and kind of do like a coral reef design, kind of alternating on each of these. And I was originally thinking of using puffy paint, but now I'm thinking, should I use foam clay? I feel like puffy paint would be easier than foam clay. And I feel like puffy paint will be a better use of materials. So I'm going to do some coral reef-like textures. I'm gonna draw it out with a Sharpie first and see how that looks, if I like it, and whether or not that's what I wanna go with. So what I might do is just do the smallest one, see how I like it, see if I like it. If I do, then move up to the next one and just keep moving on and on and on until all the pieces are done. All right, let's do some stuff. Fancy schmancy sauce. So I have the designs drawn out. Let's go get some puffy paint. Puffy paint, puffy paint, puffy paint. So I have some glitter red puffy paint that I never use. I'm gonna use this because maybe it'll give me like a rough texture sort of. So yeah, let's try this. All right, let's start over here. All right, now comes the struggle of figuring out where to dry it. I'm gonna dry it somewhere where it won't touch a thing. There we go. And then I'm gonna move it somewhere where no one will touch it. Puffy paint, oh, the puffy paint. So, the puffy paint takes 4 hours to dry, and I think I do want it. I think I like the way that looks. So, I'm going to go ahead and do some puffy paint on the rest of it, so they can all dry at the same time and hopefully be ready to go in 4 hours. Man, coral reefs are weird. Okay, so these are just gonna be smooth. I'm gonna go and get these out of here. And let's do, I know what I want. So this is what I want, but I don't want to remake it because I've already made it. So this is what I used on Takah's mask to make this lava-like texture, or at least I thought it was like dried lava. So I am going to cut some of this out of here. Look at her though, isn't she gorgeous? Like, I always think the ugliest things are pretty. I'm glad that I got to use this because it's just been sitting around. It's like, what are you gonna use that on? Okay. And then we're gonna put divots into that. Divots. All right, so I have the wood burner. I'm only going to be using one tip. I'm using this rounded one because that will kind of give me the shape I'm looking for. So we heard the local band and we were gonna go out and just explore and figure out where the sound's coming from if we can find it in time.
Okay, it's definitely getting louder. I think we stumbled upon something.
There we go.
There we go. This would explain it. Some sort of pop-up festival.
So I have done it and it worked out really, really well. I like the way it looks so far. Yeah, it was cool to do something a little bit different. Just make sure if you're doing the soldering iron that you use a thicker piece of foam, because you're gonna run straight through it if you use a thin piece of foam. So I'm gonna go back inside, kind of figure out what is left. Now I'm looking at this wood and it's like, I wonder if it actually does burn wood. Should we try the wood burner on the wood? No, because I don't own this place. All right, let's go inside. I have thought through the other shoulder piece, which is supposed to be a clamshell. And what I drew, I don't think is a clamshell. And I don't know how to make what I drew, especially since I can't find like a real picture of it online without using just a butt ton of foam clay. So I think what I'm going to do is just make like a regular clamshell. I'm looking at this profile picture. I really want those wavy lines in it. So I think what I need to start off with is the base of it. I'm trying to figure out if I need to have like a base and then put stuff on top of it to make that texture, or to make that sort of feel or whatever, or if I need to just if I just need to make the actual foam that is the piece on my shoulder, make it one piece. I'm kind of thinking Worbla might be the best bet to be able to do something that thin but that detailed. But I kind of didn't want to use Worbla, one, because I've never used Worbla, and two, I would like it to be something that is accessible. I feel like everything I can do with Worbla, I can do with craft foam. I just may need to do some things different. Let me look at some shells. Let's look at some shells. I have a box of shells because apparently I do a lot of cosplays having to do with shells. All right, so the other option, I'm looking at this one. I could just get a thick piece of craft foam and just carve it. If I carve it, then I can get all the little lines I want. Like, this is a lot of cosplay. It's just thinking through the best way to do stuff. Okay. That moment when you know what needs to be done, but you just don't want to commit to doing it. So, I have high density EVA foam from Joann's. I'm going to use this. I'm going to try to use this to cut the shell out of. I was hesitant to use this because the last experience I've had with high density foam did not go great. But I've since learned things, so hopefully this goes better. But here we go. We're doing it. It's getting done. Yeah. Thinking how much faster I am with sewing compared to this armor making and stuff. Armor making is a bunch of me sitting around scratching my head. All right, I'm gonna cut a template first before trying to cut this thing. I mean, it should be the exact same. It's just foam. Don't be afraid of it. It's just foam. Let me get my paper, make a pattern. Make a pattern, gonna make a pattern. I need to change the location of the camera, but I can't because I'm using everything I have to hold this down, literally. Oh gosh. Yep, just cutting some foam. Okay, we got through it. Okay, we're gonna heat form this thing. Alright, we have some lines. So now I'm going to Dremel in between the silver lines and try to leave the silver lines as my raised hills. Alright, I don't know about this. I don't love it. It looks like I wasn't entirely sure how to do it. Like, oh, okay, she's still learning how to do it. And I don't want my stuff to look like that. I want it to look like, whoa, how did you do that? Here is what I'm feeling so far. I'm gonna keep doing it. But it's not a little messy, it's very messy. Like, the lines aren't straight. So, what I'm thinking I may need to use is Cosplay foam. So here, let's, I'm gonna go ahead and finish dremeling this and see what we get. And see if I get to a point where I know for sure that this is not the way to go. Right now, I feel like I'm at that point, but I don't know for sure. All right, let's go ahead and do this. All right, I'm actually not going to do the triple pass on this because when I started doing it, I started making extra lines that I didn't want. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to heat form it, see what it does. I'm gonna heat form it like that, see what it looks like, and then figure out from there if I want to continue down this path and keep this, or if I would prefer to use foam clay. But this does not look super bad. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't look super bad. So I'm gonna heat form it and see what we get. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm gonna literally wash my hands of this. And I think I'm gonna try again with something else. All right, I'm going to try the foam clay.
15 minutes later.
Alright, so I discovered that now and today is not the time to figure out how to use foam clay. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. This is not working.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Alright, so I'm gonna ditch this. I'm gonna try to get as much of this off of here as possible so we can save it for something that is actually useful for. Don't do any of this. Any of this. That that didn't work. I think it would have worked had I been willing to use up that entire container for a shell, but I wasn't. And this isn't that bad. I can fix this to make it a little bit better. So I think I'm gonna go with this. All right, so I'm gonna explain what I did. I don't know if it was clear, but I went through and I dremeled, but I didn't use the fine Dremel head because it seemed like it was taking too much out of it. But it was really difficult to get the hills, so I was trying to just take away the valleys. I mean, I can't, that's all I can do. But it's also difficult to get in there without taking too much out. So what I was doing was going through with the foam clay and adding some more like height to the hills. And then also adding some to the pieces where I took too much away. I have to wait 48 hours, which will be Monday, for that to dry before I can do anything with it. So I think I'm just going to rest on this piece for right now, and start working on something else. So I was in the shower. I took a shower, and I was in the shower, and it occurred to me, oh snap, I've got to make 2 more of these on my boobs, and I didn't like the way that this one turned out, so I'm not entirely sure if the one on my boob is going to turn out well. And then after I came out, I started looking through other people's cosplay of Ariel and people who have done armor, and I saw someone who had a beautiful like Ariel with like armor, and it had texture, and it was just gorgeous. But what I saw her do, which I'm going to try to do, is she took her, it looked like she had her base piece, or in my case, it would be the breastplate. It would be like the boobs and also the shoulder part. She took that, and it looked like she made sections to go over that, and then dremeled each one of those sections. So here's what I'm talking about. Take this, well, not that, but this, a clean version. You see this? Popsicle stick. Anyway, take this and then cut another piece, probably in a thick, soft foam, and then cut this on that, and then cut the individual slivers of it, and then Dremel each one of those slivers, similar to how I did the lobster tail. I don't know why that didn't occur to me before, but I think that will work, because like it plays to my strengths, and I was just like, I just knew you had to cut it all in one piece. I think that's why it just didn't occur to me before. I don't know if I'm gonna use this though. I don't know, we'll see. So it's getting kind of late now, and I don't want to Dremel again because I took a shower and I washed my hair. Tomorrow I am going to cut one of these, probably on the high density foam, and I'm going to draw the lines on it, and I'm going to Dremel each one of those sections. I think that is going to work out perfectly. did a first pass with the 60 or 80 grit. And so far we look good. We're looking good. All right, so I'm going to go back through with the 120 grit and the 200 grit. So let's roll the B-roll of me doing that now. This is how we dremel. This is how we dremel. All right, so I have the pieces shaved down. Now I need to cut the base that they're all going to be sitting on, but I need to cut it a little bit smaller than my template because the top edges are kind of curved. So we're going to see what happens. Alright, so I drew a design, and I think what I decided is that I'm going to go ahead and paint this gold, and then I'm going to put pearl on top of it. I'm going to paint both of these gold just in case I decide to go back. The next piece I need to work on is the wig that I don't want to do, the chest piece that I don't want to do, or the crown. What will it be? I'm thinking the first thing is to build a base, headband, and then foam on top of it. My horn can pierce the sky. I look like I'm giving the middle finger. All right, this is not a bad shape. It's not a bad size either. I think this is good. This is what I was imagining. All right, cool. Let me put the wig on. All right, so just ignore the pickiness of it. I need to go through and kind of comb it all out. There just needs to be a day when I just style this wig. I need help though. Like, styling wigs is not my forte. All right, so that's what I'm thinking. Oh gosh, that looks beautiful. I love it. I flipping love it. Oh my gosh. Next steps. I am going to go ahead and I think cut the ground. Yeah. Alright, so I have dremeled it. The corners are still messed up. and it's not exactly the shape that I want. So what I am thinking I will do is what I do with everything, is just embellish the mess out of it. So I think I have come to the decision. I have also gone against several things that I said that I wouldn't do. So I think I want scales on here. All right. Let's just start off with, let's just go ahead and start off with the scales. And then we can work our way up from there. Let's just pull out all the things that you have for scales. Oh, I don't have a penny. Oh no, my penny. I went through so much effort to save this penny. Found it, yay! Penny. All right. It's the exact same penny I was using before, a year ago, to make these scales. Super tight, super tight, super tight. Wearing next to nothing cause it's hot as an oven. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. So I've gotten all of the scales on. If it looks like I know what I'm doing, I don't. I have no idea what's gonna go on the border or how to like ease the transition between edge and not edge. I don't know. I figure I will figure that out later. That's weird. So yeah, it is almost 8:30 tomorrow. I've got school. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog here. So if you like this vlog sort of thing and seeing how I kind of figure out my costumes, I don't think I ever like actually just like have a plan and execute. It's always kind of figuring out. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, especially if you have any friends who are like, man, I don't know. It seems like all the other vloggers know what they're doing. Or not vloggers, all the other cosplayers know what they're doing. I don't. So if you have a friend like that, share this video with that friend. If you have any comments, questions, leave those in the comment section below. If you like this channel, make sure you hit subscribe. There's no thumbs up for that. Make sure you click the subscribe and click on the notification bell so you get a notification the next time I upload a video. And other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Next time, see how I figure this poop out. Deuces.